Okay, so this story really got under my skin. A journalist says he was briefly detained by security after booing Donald Trump at the Kennedy Center. Just think about that for a second. He did not rush anybody, he did not threaten anybody, he did not shut down the event. He booed the president at a public appearance, and security allegedly stepped in. From what's been reported, Eugene Ramirez was at the opening night of Chicago in Washington. Trump and Melania appeared. Ramirez says he booed and gave a thumbs down, and security removed him from his seat almost immediately. He says they held him off to the side and then eventually let him return once the lights went down. He was not formally arrested or charged, but honestly, even without that, the story is still disturbing. What bothers me is how normal the original act was. Booing a politician is part of public life. You can think it's rude, sure, you can think it's childish, but it happens. People cheer politicians they like and boo politicians they dislike. That comes with the territory. If you are the president of the United States, you are going to be adored by some people and hated by others, and sometimes you are going to hear about it in public. And so when security gets involved over something like that, it changes the feel of the whole moment. Suddenly, the message is not just Trump showed up and some people didn't like it. The message becomes be careful how openly you show disapproval. And that is where I start to get uncomfortable because this was the Kennedy Center, a major public cultural institution, a place where people should be able to exist as citizens, not as extras in a staged loyalty performance. If someone can get pulled aside there for visibly expressing disapproval of the president, even for a few minutes, that says something. It tells everyone else in the room that there are consequences for being a little too public with the wrong opinion. And yes, I know some people are going to roll their eyes and say, this is being overdramatic. They will say, the guy was allowed back in. They will say it only lasted a short time. They will say, security has to be careful around a president. Fine, I get all of that. But I still think the instinct here is the real story. Why is booing treated like something that needs intervention? Why is visible dissent something that has to be cleaned up? That is the part I cannot shake. A healthy democracy should be able to handle a thumbs down. It should be able to handle a few boos in a crowd. The president should be able to hear disapproval without the machinery around him jumping in to make it disappear. And honestly, that is why this story matters, even though it might seem small. Small moments teach people what the rules really are. They show you what is tolerated and what is not. They show you whether public spaces still feel public or whether they start feeling like places where power expects a certain kind of emotional obedience. My view is pretty simple. If this happened the way Ramirez describes it, then security crossed a line they should not have crossed. Not because this was some huge national crisis, but because the response was completely out of proportion to what happened. Booing the president should not make you look like a threat. It should make you look like somebody with an opinion. And once that stops being true, people should pay attention. Because a president is not royalty, he does not deserve a room where only approval is visible. He does not deserve protection from embarrassment. In a free country, criticism comes with the job. Sometimes it is respectful, sometimes it is messy, and sometimes it is a thumbs down from a theater seat. That is still part of democracy. So for me, this is bigger than one guy being pulled aside at a musical. It is about how power reacts when it gets challenged in public, even in a small way. And when that reaction is to quietly remove the person who made the moment uncomfortable, that tells you a lot.